Whatever. All right, let's go ahead and get this show started. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tony Hadnot, aka the Nocturnist, and I am here with my bro,
Ken Folk, and we are.
Super Hadnot Bros, and we are a podcast about nothing because a conversation about nothing is a conversation about any and everything.
Goddamn
So,
right.
before we even dig deep, podcast about nothing
I got you.
before we even before no no, because I'm trying to muster up what I need to say here.
Yeah.
Before we get too deep into it, yes, for all of those who follow the podcast, we know we have not been on in a while.
Sorry about
Um,
that.
it's been a bit of a hiatus. We'll just call it a hiatus. Life kind of happened.
Yeah.
We work. You know what I mean. So that kind of happens.
Well, we had
And
a
then
big emergency, so we had to take care of
yeah,
business.
we were supposed to jump on 2 weeks ago, but we had like a little family emergency. So that kind of slowed things down for us a little bit. So I'm gonna just say it like this. Look, I know that we're on a bit of a system here, but just kind of bear with us. You know, we'll be on. We get on. We're gonna try to get on a little bit more frequently. We want to go on. We want to do it weekly, but don't hold us to it just yet. Blame
Yeah,
our head.
man.
Blame our heads, not our hearts. It's just a lot going on right now. But we are here tonight.
Yeah.
We're talking. There's a lot that we have to catch up on. Man, just so much. But before we get into that, before we even get that deep into it, if you are a follower of the show, if you've never seen the show and this is your first time checking it out, do make sure that you check us out on YouTube, Super Had Not Bros, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the conversation, make sure that you comment and share these videos, man.
That
That's just
shit's
how
free.
we wrote it.
That shit's
It's
free.
free. Don't take but 2 seconds out of your life. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this thing on the road. Um,
Yes, sir.
so how have you been?
Working, working, bro. Like
Yeah.
last 2 months, I was on the night shift, working my 712s, and I may have had like a week off, back door, and I'm
Yeah.
on 712s working a day shift. So I'm just
Whew.
trying to kind of ease it in, but got to do some stuff, in between that time. Uh,
Yeah.
my boy home came home for the summer, so he'll be out here for a couple of weeks, and congratulations, man, my boy drum major for next year. You
All
know,
right, nephew.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So y'all check
Congrats,
him out,
congrats.
TSU, man, drum major.
TSU Trump major. Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
mad about that. Okay.
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's kind of been the same here, man. Just doing a lot of work. The school photography thing has slowed down a bit, but I've been picking up jobs here and there with the photography stuff, and
Yeah.
also doing the taekwondo schools and martial arts schools.
Which is
And
dope, by the way. That's
yeah, no,
fire.
no, no. That's very dope. And so basically just out here grinding, just trying to make the contacts, make the connections, and get more people on board. Not to mention that the summer's coming up, so I will be shout out to C. Allen, but I will be
Big
an
shout out.
instructor for shoot your shot. At a lot of the schools in the Houston area,
Hmm.
like the middle schools and stuff like that. We'll be teaching basically how to be a content creator in this new age we live in of social media and so on and so forth. You don't realize how powerful your cell phone really is until you realize what you can really do with it. And
Right.
that's what our goal is to do, is to help these young people, understand that cell phones are not just about social media and having fun, but you can actually use it to market yourself and do these amazing things in case you want to get into business or
Go
you
out there and
want to
get
be
that
an artist
money.
or whatever.
Use
Yeah,
that
you're just
phone to
out
get
here
that
trying to
money.
yeah, you're out here trying to grow. So that's just kind of what's been going on this end here. Um,
Yeah, and obviously everybody can see my background is completely different because I no longer live in the last place. I moved in between the turnaround from the last one to this one. So now I'm in a new spot, and I'm gonna try to set up another little area for my little man cave or whatever, and get my pictures and shit back in order.
yeah, not to mention that place is pretty comfortable.
Yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate it.
I slept down. I slept over. Damn, you went away. Where you at?
Ah,
I
ah,
can hear you. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
ah.
But but until you get your video, I guess we can still talk.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man. Nah, the crib is comfortable, man. I stayed over there a couple weeks ago. During the little emergency we had a
Right,
couple weekends
right.
ago, and I have to say I slept pretty goddamn good
Good,
those couple
man.
nights.
Good,
You
man. I
know what I
like
mean?
that.
So yeah. I like the new place, man. It's real
Yeah,
nice, real
appreciate it.
comfortable. So kudos to that. Um, but yeah, man. Golly, man, we missed out on so much over the last few weeks.
I know, man.
Like Snowfall hadn't ended. You didn't pop back up. I can see you now.
Yeah.
Snowfall has ended.
Well, I didn't watch any of the last season. I was waiting on it all to be done so I can just binge watch them all. So
The last season is really good, so I'm not going to spoil that for you. I'll let you check it out. We can
yeah,
save that for another episode.
give me a couple of about a week, and I'll try to
Yeah,
slide that in the schedule.
but this is what I will say about Snowfall season 6 without ruining it. I do like the way it ended.
Mm-hmm.
It had yeah, it was romanticized, but it was more realistic than what people would have expected. So
Right.
the ending wasn't as obvious as people would think in a position like for a person like Franklin, right?
Oh yeah, I saw a couple of the little trailers and whatnot. He looked all fucked
Yeah.
up, man. He would beat the hell
I
up.
ain't,
He was
I ain't gonna
raggedy.
give it up. I ain't gonna give it out, but
Yeah,
you just gotta watch it.
yeah.
They do kill off
Couple of
a key
people.
character,
Nah,
a
don't say
couple of
my
key
nigga
characters.
Jerome,
I'm
man.
not gonna say it.
Don't say Jerome, dog.
I didn't say. I'm not saying nothing,
Come
but they
on,
did.
man.
Key characters have been killed. And then also, this was a season that was actually very redeeming for me.
Yeah, because
Because what was it?
last season was all over the place, and they did some unrealistic shit in there,
Was that the
man.
one with the tiger? Was the last
Yeah,
season?
yeah.
Okay.
They had all
Okay.
those
So
filler
season
episodes where like they was getting high and shit. The whole episode
right.
of them just high from the party and shit. That was dumb as hell. We
Yeah.
didn't need that shit.
No, the very last season, the final season was definitely a very much more redeeming season
Good.
because of course they had to tie up all the loose ends, right? To go ahead and finish the story. So it check it out, man. Check it out. So for all y'all listening, I didn't ruin it for you. Good. But you did watch Bel Air, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we can go ahead and talk about season 2 of Bel Air. Now,
Yeah.
I know we are a few weeks behind, but again, we were on hiatus, so we're just going to talk about our perspective and our thoughts and opinions and everything. And if you haven't seen Bel Air season 1 or season 2, then this is a spoiler warning. Please pause this video, go away, or watch this later. After you go
sit
back
here
and
and
watch
catch all of this fade, man. Y'all got to get all of this shit.
catch all this fade. So, what was your take on season 2 of Bel Air?
Will is the most annoying character on the show. I can't stand.
You think so?
Nigga. Yeah, that nigga's annoying as hell, man. He was like, he want to be grown, but then he want help from everybody, and he was making some dumb decisions. He wanted to cry. He wanted to fuck everybody, girl. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, dog. And he what really pissed me off was when he was doing the competition against Carlton and whatnot, and then they wanted to do the school protest, and my man was having a panic attack. Will took it upon himself to be like, "Oh, you pussy, man! You ain't gonna do nothing, and go put the banner up on the top of the school and all that to outshine his kinfolk." While this nigga is over here thinking he about to die, he just didn't give a shit, man. That nigga selfish as hell. Between Will and Hillary, them motherfuckers get on my nerves.
Yeah, Hillary. I thought Hillary was kind of foul what she did
She did my boy Jazz bad.
You
man.
know, she did Jazz kind of bad. And I honestly do feel for Jazz in that position, right? I mean, granted, he did have an insecurity there when old boy came in. That's something that he needs to deal with for himself. But at the end of the day,
she didn't make it no better.
She should have been on his side to pick him up and be like, "Nah, don't worry about this cat."
Because she had to understand,
Yeah, but she made it harder on him because when old dude came around, she was all up in his face. You know what I mean?
Taking the pictures, getting a million likes on the gram and shit.
Come on, let's keep it 100%. You keep saying that, you want to use him for his name and help build your business and your brand and this, that, and the other, but you have a history with old dude. Yeah, so it ain't like
he wasn't being secretive about it. He was like, "Bitch, I want you back."
He was expecting something in return. And granted, I will give him this. He was persistent, but he was
he wasn't overly aggressive.
he wasn't overly aggressive. He was just like, hey, when you ready, I'm gonna be here. But in the meantime, I just want you to know that I'm in very hot pursuit of you. I ain't gonna let you go. But she should have shut that down. She should have, I just feel like if she would have decided to go ahead and work with him on some like social media shit to help her brand, put paperwork in play. Just put paperwork in play.
Or don't do it.
Or don't do it. Shut it
You
down.
know what I'm saying? That's a healthy ass option right there.
100%. Shut it down. So yeah, she I felt like the way she played it at the end was really kind of foul. But I also thought it was a little cheesy though. Like,
it was.
Okay, so like when her and Jazz finally broke up, and then Jazz had his party at the record shop.
Yeah.
And remember, he kept watching the door, seeing if she was gonna walk up in there. And like she came, but then she saw him dance with another chick. She saw him dance with that chick and he immediately got pissed off. Didn't read nothing into
it. You getting 7 million likes with old boy. This nigga done put a billboard of you up in the city and shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga putting you on private jets and whatnot. Come on, man.
But the thing
you allowed all of that shit to happen. This nigga got one little dance. And you mad.
All he did was dance, because even after she left, he still walked back. But all in all, I thought that was just kind of corny writing. I didn't.
Yeah, you kind of saw it coming, you know.
But back to Will, there was one thing Will did that did really kind of piss me off, and it was when he found out that Doc was doing what he was doing,
right?
With the players or whatever, and he confronted old girl, his niece. He confronted old girl about it, but he didn't. But he decided to get all pissy about it after he got the buns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
he smashed first.
He smashed first, and then was like, "Nah, you gotta bounce." I was like, "All right, Will. That was a little weak. That was kind of a weak move." But he was a bit all over the place in this season.
And I'm sick of Viv pretty much like making sure the entire family moves around Will and shit. You got actual kids, motherfucker. And she wanted everybody worried about Will's feelings and all this other bullshit. So yeah, I'm sick of that shit.
They all were kind of like that though. Even Uncle Phil was like that to an extent. And speaking of him, boy, he about to walk himself into a world of hurt, ain't he?
Yeah, man. That's a bad choice right there, fella.
Hey, he should have picked up on that a long time ago. She gave all the red flags.
Come on, man. Soon as she pulled up to the little meeting or whatever, he should have been like, nah, I'm out of this. I ain't got nothing to do with this shit. But
it's obvious. It was obvious it's obvious that he's gonna go down the path he's about to take based on his home situation, right?
Oh, yeah.
Him and Unviv, I mean, they seem to be okay, but you can kind of tell there's still a little bit of friction between them.
Yeah, man, they son on crack, bro. Of course.
They just found out Carlton. They just found out Carlton was a crackhead. I mean, a cokehead.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. He's on coke. He a cokehead. My bad. No,
he a cokehead. But with all that going on, of course, what is Uncle Phil gonna do? Well, he about to go over here. And granted, you can tell he has the best intentions, but at the end of the day, he's about to be.
It's gonna catch up with him, man. His wife will do some foul shit, and the old girl will be right there for him to knock it off.
He gonna it's the thing is he's in a vulnerable, like you could tell he's in a very vulnerable position right now. So it's gonna be like he's gonna have a very, very weak moment, and clearly, unless they give us some sort of plot twist, he's probably gonna smash old girl.
Yeah, because she making it clear too. Like,
she wants him. Yeah, she want him.
Yeah,
but she doing it
over here.
But she doing it in a real snakish kind of way. It's so foul. Like,
but see,
the
man,
fact that she
Viv pissed me off when she went over there to go try to check her about it. Talking about if he go work for you, we got these terms and whatnot.
Yeah, see,
you was trying to go on a whole 6-month trip with this dude that wanted to smash on you, and you tell your husband to chill out. You get mad when he tried to go over there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even check dude. He just went over there and was just like, I'm being supportive, even though he wasn't supporting, because he just loved her and shit like that. But he just supported because old boy was doing too much.
I honestly feel like that wasn't real life anyway, though, because even if, like, when Uncle Phil and told Anviv that he may have been considering that job, she should have shut that down immediately.
Well, she didn't know at first. She didn't know about old girl at first.
Well, no, but I thought, well,
You
So,
remember he was supposed to be going to have a meeting with somebody else, but they company bought the firm. And
oh,
so
that's
she
right. They got
pulled
bought
up
out.
and he failed to
Right, right.
mention that shit. So when she found out, that's when he was like, well, it's a position, I should have informed you,
Okay.
but you
Okay.
know, which
That makes sense.
he was wrong for not saying nothing from the jump. He should have went on ahead and knocked that
He
out.
should have.
Soon
Right.
as she sat down, he should have been on the phone like, hey baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
bitch didn't pop back
100%.
up.
100%. But it was foul because she she went back and befriended
Yeah,
Viv. So now she's back in her good graces.
right.
So now she's getting in. She's getting in close. I mean, that I honestly see like next season, she's probably gonna be hanging around at the crib a little bit more. So now
Doing like
she's getting
old boy,
closer.
man. Like the
Yeah,
basketball
getting closer to
player
Uncle
or the
Phil.
football player,
Yeah.
whatever the nigga do. But yeah,
She
that
getting close
nigga,
to Uncle Phil.
he pulled up to the party and their whole family was embracing this nigga and shit, Jazz sitting around like, oh damn, y'all act like I ain't even here. So
Well,
yeah,
but the
she know
family,
the family too.
facts. But as far as Jazz go, the family, like, or at least Uncle Phil doesn't seem to care that much about Jazz.
Right, but still,
So
it's
he
just
already looking
like,
at that dude like this is the one. This is the
yeah,
guy that Hillary
Uncle
needs
Phil
to be with.
he was being extra when the nigga pulled up. You know what I'm saying? He went
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
introduced this nigga to everybody and all that shit, and
Yeah,
was
100%.
proud and happy as hell. He was like, "Look at my son-in-law right there." So yeah, he was tripping,
Facts.
man.
Yeah, he was tripping. So yeah, it was a lot of that going on. It was funny because like in the first season, Carlton especially, like and of course you usually kind of see this on TV, only on TV, but like you can kind of like when Carlton got his car jacked at that party, did you see him turn from like this mature person into like a
So
little
look,
kid in the moment?
they all do that shit when it's time to get real. They turn back into kids, but any other time they want to tell these adults what they go do and what's best and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
Man, if you don't sit your punk ass down, because I didn't know these niggas was in the 10th grade, bro.
Yeah, they sophomores. So
Yeah,
it was just real funny because like he was sitting on the bus stop and walking to the car and he did not seem like himself at all. It was literally like a little boy. You know what I'm
niggas trying to
saying?
come up with a bullshit ass lie.
Coming up with the bullshit story and all this other stuff. So it's just a
We got to
lot
stop
going
fucking with that
on.
white boy, man. That he gonna get him into some shit. It seemed like he took up for him at the moment, but I feel like he gonna have to later on. He gonna use that shit against him and be like, man,
Yeah. It's gonna bite him in the ass, but this is gonna be, I think this is actually gonna be a tough season for a lot of people. It's gonna be tough for Carlton because he's gonna have to deal with his addiction issue.
yeah,
It's gonna be tough for Uncle Phil because he's gonna have to deal with keeping his marriage on point,
and
worry
his
about
son
not
off of
cheating on his
dope.
wife, keep his son off dope. The Hillary is definitely gonna struggle. It's gonna seem like she okay right now, but she's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
realize that old dude ain't gonna be right for her. She's gonna end up back with Jazz. I mean, we
Yeah,
already know that.
yeah, we know that shit.
Unless they do some sort of weird plot twist, but it just kind of seems like that's what's
So
gonna
what they
happen.
go he gonna be like, you know what? I'm happy for y'all. I'm cool. I'm a fall back type shit. That's weak.
Maybe
That man, he introduced his parents to her, man.
he did, and she was tripping at that
She
too.
was, man. I would have been like, who the fuck is this? I don't know who
Yeah,
this
get
is. This
it.
is not the chick
Yeah,
that I wanted y'all to meet. I mean, he
right.
checked her and told her to cut it out at one point, you know what I'm saying? But all of that reciting shit and all of that, man, we don't need all that shit. Eat this food.
Yeah, yeah. Facts. Yeah, she
Shit.
was tripping in that one, man. But you know who else? You know who else? I
Jeffrey,
don't want to say
man.
the. Okay, well, yeah, we can talk about Jeffrey. So Jeffrey seems to not have been as gangster in this season like he was in season one.
I think they wanted him. They felt like they needed to tone him down or something like that because he wasn't on him. He wasn't on point like he was supposed to be. And even after he met his son and all of that shit, yeah, I get it. It's tough. You never met him. Well, he was young when you left or whatever. He a grown
Right,
man now. He didn't want to be there. Cool, whatever. I did what I had to do to make you safe and the family safe, all that good shit. But I took care of you the whole time. So
right.
but he his head wasn't in the game, man, and he
Yeah.
softened up. I mean, he pulled up in certain situations, but he just
Oh
wasn't
yeah, like the
he wasn't
doc
handling
situation.
business like he was in the first season.
Yeah, the doc situation, he definitely handled the business
Yeah.
right there. Like he was, standing guard at the door, and when old dude came in, he was basically like, "Look, you're gonna sign these goddamn papers. Like it is what
We
it
ain't
is."
we ain't going nowhere without their signature. That's what he was
Yeah,
saying. Yeah.
that was when you saw. That was when you saw his gangster side. You actually saw a little bit of that in Uncle Phil too in that moment.
Man, I'm starting to
Whenever they
see that
handled that
shit in him a
situation.
lot too, man. Because
Who,
like I
Uncle
said,
Phil?
yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh hell
whatever
yeah.
he got on Jeffrey, bro, it's just he make it seem like, nigga, I ain't scared of you. Like I can
Yeah.
make shit happen just like you can.
Hey, Uncle Phil is definitely a gangster.
Yeah.
Like 100% gangster. So and we may see more of that in this third season too, especially like with him going because he's gonna go through some sort of turmoil for a little bit.
Because
I
of
can kind of
the
see him doing some
business and
gangster
shit
shit.
on both ends with his company and the one he's working for and shit. So
Shit. Trying to cut and even trying to cover his ass. I can see him just trying to cover his ass in certain situations.
yeah,
But I was gonna talk about Lisa.
yeah,
Man, is it me or is she like low key thoughting out there?
not low key. She ain't low
I'm
key
just
about it.
saying, because she tried to make herself seem like a victim in a lot of the situations when she's dealing with
And she put
Carlton, Will, and
herself
so on
in
and so
them
forth.
situations.
But she the one that keep going back and forth. And I mean, let's keep it honest. Like when the show first started, she was attracted to Will, but she had a history with Carlton. Then she
Yeah.
started fucking with Will. Then she started hanging out with Carlton. Now she's hanging out with the other dude. But it just seemed like anytime she's like going through something and somebody shows up for her, she's like
This, yeah.
all
If you all
in.
you gotta do is buy some Kit Kats and she ready. Because this
Yeah.
nigga Carlton bought her a throat ass bracelet and she just was like, "Oh, thank you." And then she flirted with him a little bit, but then she was like, "All right, but go holler at my nigga real quick." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Appreciate the bracelet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
flirt with you, make you a little happy or whatever. But I got a whole nigga that's supposed to knock me down later.
Yeah, I say I don't know, man. I just watch her get passed around so doggone much. And then Will also be on that bullshit too, though, because he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. Because
Yeah, because
he in between fucking with her and old girl, Jackie.
yeah. Because when the baby was being born, she had an attitude. She didn't even want to see the baby and shit. But then Will goes up there with her and sat there with her the whole time and fucked over old girl, kind of, you know what I'm saying, flaked on her for Lisa, even though they was beefing, and then all that's all it took. Next thing you know, her head on his shoulder, and then
You
shit,
know what?
they ready to smash again.
And the crazy part about that was it wasn't like he missed the call by mistake, right? Because there's
Right.
situations where a lot's going on. You don't check your phone, but
Yeah.
he was like looking at his phone, like
And actually getting aggravated that she was hitting him up and shit.
yeah, it's
He
like,
could have
but you
easily just
told
picked up the
her.
phone. Hey, look. I got some business to take care of. I'm gonna chop it up with you as soon as I'm done. Nigga
Yeah, he
ain't do
should have
none
just
of that shit.
he should have just handled that, but he didn't. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, all in all, I think it was an okay season. I feel like season one was definitely much better. Season two kind of felt it wasn't bad, but it did feel a little cornier
Well,
than
I feel like it's because in season one they used stories that we know already.
right. And they're now
So we
they're
kind of was like, okay, I remember the episode that was like this and like that. But on this one, it's just so much new shit, and the kids are disrespectful as fuck. And
yeah.
it's just it's a lot to try to take in when you watch a shit like that.
Yeah, this it's definitely taking it's definitely like deriving into like going into like different directions, which I mean it honestly I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing. I just feel like they have
It's
to do
not. It's just we not
a little
used to
bit
that shit.
better. Well, they just have to do a little bit better with the writing. I
Yeah,
do see that they're trying, but yeah, yeah, you
yeah.
know, I ain't tripping. It is what
Yeah.
it is. But all in all, man, I'm still looking forward to season three, and I
I'm
can't wait
gonna
to see
watch
how
it.
the show
I'll watch the
unfolds.
third
Yeah, for
season.
sure, for sure. So
Yeah. So
that's been pretty much it. Uh huh.
I uh I checked this documentary out earlier, man. It's called Our Father. You ever seen that? It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna check it out. What is it?
It's just a little documentary, ain't no series or nothing, but it's crazy. So
What is it? Yeah, come on. What's up?
this doctor, like back in like the 70s and 80s and shit, Dr. Klein, he was a fertility doctor. And these women would come in and all of that shit, pick out the book, get the sperm that they want or whatever. But in all actuality, He was shooting his own nut into them.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So you know how they go in and they kind of get the attributes of whoever nut they want and whatnot.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, that's cool. And then he walk out the door and be like, man, fuck all that. You could take my nut. And he would bust out one, get them hoes pregnant. And and so he ended up having like a gang of kids, bro. So like one chick, the first chick that they talk about, or that is on the documentary, she kept saying, you know, she felt a little different. She was blonde, blue eyes. Um, you know, kept asking her parents what was up. And then the mom eventually was just like, okay, yeah, you know, we were having complications and we needed, you know, your pops couldn't reproduce. So, you know, we needed some assistance. But the
Right.
doctor was supposed to find somebody that was like very similar to her husband. So when she was 10, her mama finally told her. And then when she turned like when she was in her 30s, she said she was missing like that emotion and feeling that you get in with having a sibling and shit. Somebody who can
Right.
understand her and whatnot, because you can use that sperm like 2 or 3 times or whatever back then. I'm pretty sure you can use it a lot more now with one sample. But
Right.
she was like, it's got to be at least 2 of them out there, and I just want to meet them or whatever. So she did the 23andMe, like when that shit was jumping, right? Shit comes up, sold like 7 different siblings. So now she like, oh, okay, how in the hell if you can only use it like 2 or 3 times? So she ended up getting in touch with one of them. They did it. Boom. The shit kept spreading. And they found out it was connected to this doctor. And man, it ended up being like 94 kids and counting. They still counting.
Did he have a reason as to why he was doing this?
Yeah. So his reason was one of the white racists was to disappear, so he need to keep this shit going. So he just felt like he was more pure with the blonde hair, blue eye bullshit,
So he was on
and
some Hitler shit.
kind of, but just not as evil with it. But I mean,
I
that's still
mean,
fucked
well,
up. That's fucked up.
I mean,
But
Hitler killed a lot of people, but I mean,
right,
he wanted that's what he wanted the world to be,
yeah.
was, you know, pale, blue-eyed, blonde people. So
But this dude, he didn't even care though. Like when they found it, like a couple of the kids got together and met him in person, and he would meet them all like with the strap on, like he ready for whatever, just because he got to pop one of them or whatever. So when he pull up, he asking them all, like, yeah,
wait, back it up. Did you
yeah,
say did you say Strapo?
yeah. He got the gat on him. You know what I'm saying? No, he wasn't coming out with a strap to not like that. Like he had the gun on
Oh, the
him.
piece. I'm about to,
Yeah.
okay. You know, in today's world, you got to say
Yeah, you got to be careful with
certain
that shit.
words. You got to be real.
Right.
It's like Strapo. Wait, what the hell?
But he let him see it. He got it on the hip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's like questioning them, like, okay, what's your name? And they said, and he was like, what do you do for a living? And he was kind of like judging the motherfuckers to be like, okay, so you motherfucker is not important because you don't do shit. And he's like basically like a fucking experiment or whatever. But
Yeah.
he didn't care. He said he only did it. Well, he tried to tell the judge he only did it when they didn't have sperm available.
Right.
But he kept saying it was it couldn't be no more than maybe like 10. Then it went to 15 or whatever. But in actuality, he did it to damn near every chick that walked in or whatever. And at the end, the fucked up twist about this shit is the motherfucker had the AIDS, man.
With all those kids? Oh, that
Yep.
is some foul
They all
shit.
had some kind of deficiency, and they all was like questioning, like, okay, is something wrong with you? Something wrong with you? Yeah. They all went and got checked out. And this is some of them, in the 80s, they didn't know what was wrong. They didn't know what AIDS was
Right.
and all that shit.
Right.
And they just kept saying, oh yeah, I got autoimmune deficiency and shit like that. So yeah, you got the AIDS, man. That's fucked up. Pass that shit
Oh
along.
my God. Like,
Yeah.
so, okay, so you said this happened in the 70s?
Like he did it. He did this through the span of like 12 years or some shit like that.
So what happened to him after all of this was found out? Like
Nothing.
is he dead or?
I don't know. That motherfucker might still be alive, but he ain't. He ain't getting no court time on nothing because he didn't commit a crime. He didn't. You know, he didn't forcefully enter them and shit like that or whatever. So they didn't have a law for that shit.
So it was it was very calculated what he did, and I can
Right, but then on top of
there.
that, you know, he was your good old boy. You know, he was in the church and he was the doctor in this area, and everybody loved him. You know, the politicians and shit was writing letters on his behalf saying how good of a person he was.
But you know what? See that this is a life trope.
Yeah,
this is not just in Hollywood TV. This is a life trope. Anytime somebody looks good on paper like that, you cannot trust that shit. You can't trust that shit, man.
Yeah.
Everybody who's got a good shit on paper, and people say, "Oh, would never harm a fly."
They was vouching. I'm talking about the attorneys was writing letters and shit. You know what I'm saying? But think about this shit. No. All the kids,
motherfucking the devil.
All of the kids were like in a fucking 25-mile radius of each other, bro.
And then he did it like so. Now everybody's close. Oh man, this dude. I'm pretty sure it's a special place in hell for him.
One of his daughters, who was fully grown now, said that she remembered before she found out he was her goddamn doctor. So he was out there checking her, checking for doing breast exams. He was her OBG.
And he didn't know that was his daughter?
No, that nigga knew. She didn't know that was
She didn't know he was her daddy.
Yeah.
That makes him even more sick. Oh, come on, bro. Man. Never mind. I ain't watching that shit.
Nah, man, they don't show it.
No. It's not that. It's just the story. It's
a documentary, though. You know what I'm saying? So you actually hear the accounts from them.
That's what I'm saying. Though. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can handle that. That's a lot.
That
you know
is,
what I'm saying? Like that's a lot. I don't know. Nah.
Soon as the kids said that they were sick, the first thing I thought of was R. Kelly, man, trapped in the closet. You remember everybody was fucking everybody in that and throughout the whole thing. Because how many did he do? He did like 100 or something like that.
I lost count because after about 3 of them,
20.
I was like,
after 20, I was like, all right, this enough.
Wasn't it something like I don't want to say the not correct word, but didn't it have something to do with like people?
They had a little person in there.
Yeah, see, it that was just too bizarre. But you know what? Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
There's no way you could tell me that R. Kelly did that. R. Kelly did that shit on purpose. He wrote that shit on purpose just because he's R. Kelly. That's what I feel like with After the Closet shit. He was like, you know what? I'm one of the most prolific fucking R&B songwriters of all time. I can tell you, I can tell you the scenario right now. He was probably somewhere hanging out with his boys. He was like probably smoking weed or some shit.
Yeah.
He was like, man, you know what? These motherfuckers will buy anything that I put out. I'm fixing to write the most bizarre shit. It's gonna be like a soap opera, but it's gonna be crazy as fuck. It's gonna have something to do with a preacher and midgets and
see, this is the thing. The first 15 is you could tolerate them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll say the first 5 or whatever, they all kind of went together. It had a good little flow. Then when they came with the little people, that's when somebody was like, hey, that's pretty dope what you're doing. And he was like, I'm gonna keep it going. And he just started doing all kind of shit. He tried to be funny because he played like, well, in the videos, he played like different characters. He had his Eddie Murphy moment. He had his what's it called? Nutty Professor moment and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he was a pimp, he was a preacher, he was a nigga in the closet, then he was a whole nother nigga. I don't know. It was all kind of shit going on.
All I'm saying is he was like, I could literally write about anything. It doesn't even have to make sense. And
it didn't even rhyme half the
shit up. And the crazy part about it was, I bet I know for a fact that he may have released the music, but he probably knew it that people wasn't gonna buy it, but he knew that the radios was gonna spin the fuck out of it, which is gonna keep it. keep
when
him
it
going.
came out, I believe it came out with the Chocolate Factory. If you bought the Chocolate Factory CD, you got the DVD with the first. I think it was the first 10.
Damn, how long ago did that shit come out? Because wasn't Chocolate Factory like 03 or something like that?
Yeah, I was like in the 11th grade. Yeah,
Damn,
I was
Trapped in the
working
Closet King.
I was working at Best Buy, and we stole
Trapped
that
in the
shit from
Closet
over
ain't
there.
that old, is it?
Yeah, we was working. Me and my partner Ronaldo was working at up there.
Damn,
And
that's like 20 years ago.
yeah, man, we robbed the shit out them niggas.
Well,
I worked in the media department, so shit, and we got it a week before.
Statute of limitations.
They can't do shit. It ain't my fault. So we worked in the media. So I worked with the DVDs, CDs, video games. That's it.
Yeah.
Our part in the back, where we kept everything in storage in the warehouse, they didn't have a camera back there.
No, they never did. I used to work there, so I remember that. I used to work in the warehouse.
Yeah. So when shit came out, news, DVDs, music, games, we get them a week in advance so we can stack them and then start putting them on the floor. So I would take my cut and then bring it to school and sell that shit to everybody. A week in advance for, I was getting 100% profit off of it, but I sell it for a higher price because you're getting it early, you're getting that exclusive. You feel me?
Oh my goodness. What's up, Crystal?
Mean?
What's up,
Ann? For one, before it ain't
what's
just
up?
me. Because you remember, I gave Daddy a copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas a week before it came out.
Did you really? Steve. All right. Anyway, what's up, Antonio? So Antonio, I think, is saying that Trapped in the Closet came out in 2011, and that actually sounds like that's when it came out. Chocolate Factory came out. Chocolate Factory came out too long ago for that. I remember Trapped in the Closet.
It was with one of the albums. Might have been TP2.
When did TP2 come out? No, TP2 came out. Wait. Did TP2 came out? That still came out a long time ago. TP2 came out when we were in high school, I thought.
You know what I'm saying? I was in high school working, bro.
Yeah, but Trapped in the Closet, nah, man. We were like grown. Trapped in the Closet came.
Bro, it came out with one of these damn albums.
It must have came out one of his more it was probably a more recent album. Granted, 2011 was still fucking 10, 12 years ago, however long it's been. November 7, 2000.
Maybe I didn't. I got it with a different album. I can't remember. I just remember we used to steal shit from Best Buy.
Antonio, what came out in November 2000? Go ahead, give us that answer while we'll wait on that. We'll talk while we wait on that. But I'm trying to think. Well, what came out around 2011 that R. Kelly would have been putting out?
TP2 was 2000. Okay, I was working over there.
Okay, I'm about to say. Okay, I remember being in high school when TP2 came out. I was like in the 10th grade, I did work. Yeah, 10th or 11th grade. Too, though. Yeah, so ain't no telling.
That shit was crazy.
The fact of the matter is, it was bizarre as fuck.
Yeah,
but actually, it was great because R. Kelly also knew that. Not only did he know that he would write anything, but he also knew that it was going to be so crazy and so different and so
people ate it up.
Well, people only ate it up because it was like fucking their head. I was like, wait, did this really just fucking happen in this song?
Yeah.
And now, of course, when people say that, what they gonna do? They gonna talk to each other and be like, "Yo, did you hear this shit on the radio last night? This nigga R. Kelly tripping." You know what I'm saying,
bro? People was waiting for like the next video to drop every week or whatever.
Yeah, well,
it was like a real soap opera.
I guess it was a successful run because he came out with a whole bunch of them shits, man. It just started.
Some people stuck with it, but I dropped off pretty early in the game.
Man, I think I fell off after 3 or 4 of them. I was like, I can't. And then when I would hear people talk about the later ones, I was like, are you serious? Like, this really can't be R. Kelly. It's a spoof, right? And then I go back and look, and I'm like, oh, this nigga really still going. Like, he went on.
But he had the man's up in the video. What's his face? The dude with the slash across his face.
Oh, Omar from The Wire.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in that.
He was the bitch ass cop.
Oh, see, yes, I don't know nothing about none of that. So
that was smashing his old lady.
It's just I don't know, man. That
but what I was saying is that it just made me think about it because at the end of the whole Trapped in the Closet, everybody was fucking everybody, and then eventually they all found out they had AIDS or whatever. They was all pregnant with each other.
So not only was it different, not only did he know that it was gonna take off just because he was R. Kelly and he wrote it, but it was also a fucking PSA announcement. It was a public service announcement.
Yep.
Hey kids, wrap it up.
Yeah. While y'all out here cheating, just sleeping with everybody, you can get the
because when you fuck one person, you fuck 20.
Yeah. You don't want the AIDS.
You don't want them AIDS. Yeah, that's how Momo used to see it.
Yeah.
So you never watched Wu-Tang, right?
Nah, I tell you, I watched like 3 episodes, and then I was getting frustrated because they were showing commercials, so I stopped watching.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that actually ended this year too.
Yeah,
Wu-Tang, they finished the 3rd season.
But then once I found out that they wasn't really like they didn't really like it that much, I was like, okay, well,
yeah, no, it was definitely more of a RZA thing.
Yeah,
it was a more. It was semi. How you say that word? Semi-biographical.
Yeah,
is that a word?
Yeah.
So like you.
Yeah, everybody got AIDS, bro.
Yeah, the midget got the short end of the deal.
Good one.
I like that. Good play on words.
I see what you're doing.
But no, RZA did it. It was definitely a semi. Like you had to watch it. You had to watch the show and then take the stories with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, it wasn't up by any means not exactly what happened. But it was still decent.
I mean, season 3 be true to everything, but I mean the way they were talking, it was just like, man, none of that shit went down like that.
Well, season 3 was actually like the most off season that was on there. Like it, like season 1 and 2, they felt more streamlined. The narrative was kind of, I mean, you could kind of, they still skipped around on some things, but like the narrative was there and it kind of stuck with what was going on with the group.
Right.
Season 3, they decided to take more creative liberties with the show. And so they almost did like Atlanta did in they did like Atlanta season 3, where one episode you would get the core story.
Right. And then they have these side shit going on.
Yeah, it would go way off. Granted, it was to it did feel rushed, Antonio. That's exactly what it did. It felt rushed. What they were doing was like they tried to do these little allegorical films. Like each certain episodes would be like its own standalone film. So one was about Old Dirty Bastard. And you kind of saw things from his perspective where he was like in the 70s and doing all this weird, crazy shit to kind of see in his mind, I guess, in a sense, to kind of figure out who he was.
Shouldn't they done that in the first goddamn season?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was so all over the place.
Yeah,
that's just how it worked. They also did this. Now, granted, the season, the 2 episodes they did for Raekwon and GZA was kind of dope. So like Raekwon did one that was called Criminology, and it was based on his album Built for Cuban Links. And talking about the purple tapes and all that stuff that was hot at the time when he was putting the music out. It was almost like a little movie that was kind of like one of those old like 90s kind of crime films. So it was real flashy and hip hop, and they living in. Think about Belly. Think about Belly.
Right.
Belly with a little bit of an edge. It was like that. And then
Belly with a better storyline, basically.
No, I still think Belly still had a better storyline. And Belly's storyline wasn't all that great, but for some odd reason, we just loved that movie. Like
it was just a dope movie, but as far as the story, it made no sense.
Yeah, it really didn't. But I think the thing that sold Belly was the fact that Hype Williams directed it, and of course, we all know Williams visually.
It was a long music video. That's it.
Visually, Hype Williams is the shit, and he really went there with
that movie has the best intro to any movie of all time.
And so this episode of Wu-Tang did feel like that. It felt like
Yeah.
a Hype Williams, like it was
Yeah.
on that shit. And then they also did one for Jizza called Liquid Swords. Now that one was by far my favorite one. That shit was dope as hell because it was like, you know, Jizza's supposed to be like the smartest one
Right.
out of all the Wu-Tang. They call him the genius.
Right.
And so it was like about him kind of like foreseeing like the future of hip hop and like how the culture vultures are gonna come and basically like what's going on in hip hop today. Like he foresaw that shit back then. And so when it was time for him to put his album out, they were like on him about his album. He was like, they were like, hey, what are you gonna do about this album? Jizz was like, I don't want to put this album together until I get everybody in the Wu on.
Right.
And they were like, well, you only got this much time to get the album out, so you might need to take about doing some other direction. She was like, Old Dirty Bastard just did a song with Mariah Carey and it fucking went. Why don't you get other features from other artists? And he was like, I don't need that. Like, I don't care about none of that.
We got a whole squad.
And that's what he was. Well, but mind you, at the time, they're already successful.
Right.
So they're all kind of not only dealing with Wu-Tang shit, but they doing their own shit. So he wants them all to be together to be on the album, but he can't do it because they're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
So the episode was basically about him kind of like reconnecting with all the members to get his album, which he does succeed in doing.
Right.
But it was the storyline. They had like the RZA actually did this episode, and it was like an old kung fu movie kind of vibe to it. It was actually his normal shit, but it was really, really, really fucking dope. That might have been one of the better episodes in that season.
Was it better than that stupid ass movie he did with the Iron Hands or whatever?
Yeah.
That shit was dumb.
Yeah, I never really enjoyed The Man with the Iron Fist or whatever.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me, man. He tried so hard to make it like the old school shit. It just didn't work. It didn't work.
Oh yeah, now, Antonio, I agree, man. It is kind of hard to cram all that shit into a show. But from what I understand, when it comes to Hulu originals, not like Snowfall where that's on FX and all that.
Right.
From what I hear, those Hulu originals, they only for some odd reason last for so many seasons. Yeah. And of course, a story like Wu-Tang, they definitely needed more than 3 seasons. Because I mean, Wu-Tang has been around for 30 years now. So you got a whole, 30 years of story to tell. And granted, although they probably
to do just the beginning, that's still a couple of seasons.
Honestly, the timeline that they covered in the show would have been plenty. It was enough of the timeline because it was them at the height of their career, right? Right. Up until, what was the name of that album? Wu-Tang Forever. They had Triumph on it.
Yeah.
Like they did go up until that point, but it was just there was so much that happened within that time. He's right. There's no way you could get all of that in 3 seasons. Like that could have went on for like maybe another 2 or 3 extra seasons,
Yeah.
But some odd reason Hulu their shows just don't last that long. So I guess they just had to work with what they had to work with.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man.
I was watching something the other day. Shout out to what is it? Axum Amnesia.
Okay.
They did one about the Boys in the Hood the other day, and they had the question was like, who was like the worst parent? You know what I'm saying? Or who was considered like the single parent with Trey? Was it Rita or Furious? Because she had him and he fucked up, and she was like, okay, it's time for you to go stay with your pops. And then now Pops got him, and Pops basically took him, and then that was pretty much it. She disappeared. So it was like, who is the one that was like the deadbeat or should have been considered a single parent?
I mean, okay, so if we're going off of face value, it would be Furious, right? Because Furious is the one that raised them. But I'm pretty sure they have a different theory.
Yeah, but it was just a question that was asked. And they did have their own theories, but I didn't really listen to it because I started thinking about it on my own. And it was kind of, to me, Rita dropped the ball, man. Reva, she dropped the ball.
Clearly.
Once she dropped him off, that was a wrap. She was like, I got to go back to school and this and that. And when she started making money and got her own place, she didn't be like, oh, I'm coming to get this nigga. Yeah. They didn't sign no paperwork, no nothing. She just went drop this nigga off, and that was it.
And didn't Trey at some point in the movie be like, hey, when am I coming home? And she was like, you're not getting...
No, yeah, he did. He did ask when I can come home, and she was like, I got to get my shit together first. But then whenever he got older, and she was like, I thought you were supposed to come home last weekend and whatnot. He was like, I was cooling with Rick. She said, you always cooling with Rick. So he ain't been going over there on the weekends and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then Furious was like, you got to stop buying them shit. Just buying them shit ain't raising him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Your money ain't doing nothing. So to me, she was living her best life out here, having a good old time. Because you can't tell me she was just going to school. She was out there getting digged down and whatnot, having a hot girl time.
And let's keep it 100%. Like, she literally dropped Trey off just because she felt like she couldn't handle him. Yeah. That was it. And granted, look, I'm not saying that Furious shouldn't have taken him in. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have dropped him off the Furious. But what I am saying is, so he became a little too much for you to handle, so you had to go drop him off with his dad. You can't raise him to be a man when there's a whole bunch of single women out here that's doing that. You know what I mean? And they daddies and probably daddies are still out there working and stuff like that, but they still chose to raise the kids. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't raise your son? Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. But I'm just saying, like, she was out there living her life, man, kid free, bro. This nigga out here living in the hood, bro. Like, you know, it's dangerous. This nigga walked across the street with a plate of barbecue. He's supposed to be happy. This nigga pulled a whole shotty out on him, man.
Yeah, he had a gun pulled out on him. Yeah.
And he didn't even tell his pops that. And that nigga was like, it just left it at that.
No, I personally feel like Furious was clearly the better parent because he took Trey in despite his circumstances. Like, he was living in a shitty house.
But he didn't even fight on roaches. He was like, all right.
Yeah. Yes, she.
She did DoorDash that nigga, man.
She straight up DoorDash his ass. Hey, I got a kid here for Furious style.
Furious style. Did you order one, son?
Yeah, big facts. Yeah, she definitely DoorDash his ass, man. But yeah, nah. I mean, I thought and maybe I'll have to go back and watch the episode because I'm pretty sure the theory is definitely. I'm pretty sure there's a much more complex theory that can be very comprehensive if they can make it make sense. So I'll go watch Axiom Amnesia. If you're listening, you've never heard of Axiom Amnesia, go check them out on YouTube. They always come up with these crazy fan theories and things of that nature on YouTube, where they really kind of do some things that are they talk about things that are very thought-provoking in a lot of these movies.
Shit that we would never even think about.
But Blackbusters do too.
Yeah. So I watched they just did Boys in the Hood 2, and that's kind of how it pulled up because I watched that episode and they were talking about, you know, how it's crazy how they all grew up. You got Trey, Doughboy, Rick, my homie in the wheelchair, little Chris. And they all grew up on the same block, but they all had different lifestyles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Trey had his pop, so he stayed out of he didn't smoke, he didn't drink. You know, when they tried to pass a nigga to 40, he was like, nah, get that shit out of my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he still hung with them niggas though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but that is a reality.
That's a reality.
That's the thing. The hood ain't monolithic like people think it is. They think when you go to the hood, you're gonna get jacked up, you're gonna get beat up, and I mean, those things do happen, but everybody that lives in the hood ain't like that. They still got dirty niggas that live in the hood that hang out with
I ordered some pizza the other day, and the chick that dropped it off was talking about how she got robbed out here a couple of times, and she still delivering. I didn't know they deliver until like 4 a.m, right? She was like, yeah, one time I went to this house and they told me to pull in the driveway, and when I pulled in, a car blocked me in and they tried to rob me. And then she went to another house. They ordered some food. It was at an abandoned house. And when she got there, they pistol whipped her and shit. I mean, it was a lot of shit. She was like, yeah, I carry my gun with me now. I'm like, you should have been doing that shit. But
yeah, for real. But no, I mean, but that is a reality. Nerdy niggas live in the hood. Thug niggas live in the hood. Smart niggas, dumb niggas. Like, there's all kind of people that live in the hood that just happen to be living under these certain circumstances. So
and they brought up a point about like how Ricky and Doughboy, like they relationship as being siblings and shit. Ricky was kind of a whole ass brother when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Doughboy was always looking out for him and shit. You know, and he didn't really give a shit about Doughboy because his mama treated him different. So that nigga didn't care about none of that shit. You know, he looked at his brother like he wasn't shit. But then whenever he got in some trouble, Doughboy was the
one that had to save the day.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I just found this out like a few months ago. You may know this already, A lot of people may know this already, but I just found this out.
All right.
The boy that played Ricky when he was a kid,
Yeah, I know.
young Ricky.
I know.
You know who he is?
Yeah, that's such and such brother. Go ahead and say his name.
It's Eddie Winslow, brother.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I just found that out.
Yeah.
And so when I looked at him, I saw him, and then I looked at Eddie Winslow. I was like, you know that meme of Weebay from where he be like,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I found out a while back because they do them little things on YouTube where it's like, where are they now? And they went through the whole cast, and that's how I found that shit out or whatever. Because I didn't know old boy that was like, hey, little man, catch. He died. You know what I'm saying? Like not too long after they did the movie.
He died. Dookie is dead.
Yeah, the boy that killed everybody in the movies is dead.
The nigga with the shotgun.
Yeah, because he went to prison. Yeah, he went to prison and then he died. Yeah, because that nigga really thought he was gangster because he killed Ricky. He pulled the gun on Trey. He killed Q-Tip in Poetic Justice.
Did he really? That nigga let the rolls get to his head.
Yeah. That nigga really joined the gang and everything and went to prison and shit.
But he was in that one movie with old boy from the wood. What's the name of that movie? He was old boy from the wood, the tall Slim from the wood.
Oh, Richard.
When he was on the swim team.
Yeah.
And they end up going to prison.
Yeah, and then they raped my boy Stacy, man.
Stacy. Oh, yeah. DeAndre Barnes. Yeah. Okay, well, old boy that pulled the shot out on Trey was in that movie. And he tried, I think he tried he ended up getting his ass whooped in that movie. He was trying some foul shit and he got his ass whooped. So that was the only time I seen him like not be like a thug nigga. Yeah. As well as Stacy from the wood, because usually he always playing that role too.
Yeah, but he was a good dude, man. And then they did him bad, man, and they violated that fella, man. And then he came back, he got full of that powder. He came back and jugged that dude in the throat like 17 times, man, while they was watching the movie.
You know who I think he is in reality, though? I honestly think he relates close to his character he played in Snowfall.
Yeah, I really watch his interviews, he's pretty much like that.
He like on some like spiritually like gangster shit. Like he like the nigga that's gonna like pray for you before you blow your brains out.
Yeah, he gonna pull a Samuel L. Jackson on you, man.
Oh yeah, young Trey was in Harlem Nights. He was. That little boy played on a lot of stuff though, didn't he? Like when he was a kid, he played in a lot.
That nigga was in Harlem Nights, and that nigga
he was in House Party.
Yeah, he was the nigga pouring the sugar.
Kool-Aid. He was the Kool-Aid boy. Yeah. What color? What flavor you want? You want grape or red? And you ever notice that every character he plays, he always that little badass boy, always got a little funky ass attitude.
Yeah. Because on Harlem Nights, when that nigga was like, "All right, I'm gonna bring you home to your parents," and he was like, "Nah, my mom's dead." He was like, "What about your dad? He dead." So you kill him? Nah, they just dead. Dead. Nigga, they just dead.
Oh man! But speaking of theories, man, and we talked about this last week. I think we actually watched the episode together. Blackbusters.
Yeah,
when they talked about Boomerang.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this right now, Boomerang is a movie that's 30-something years old. So I know everybody has seen it. If you haven't seen it, shame on you. Like, you should be fired. Go kill yourself. But they made a lot of sense on one point in this movie. And of course, at the end of every episode of Blackbuster, shout out to Big John and all those guys over there. They said that the MVP of that movie was Halle Berry's character.
Right.
And I 100% agree with that shit.
Yeah, I do too, man. Because the way they broke it down, I didn't look at it that way, man. And
nah,
she did what she had to do to get what she wanted.
Yeah, because what they did, because the way that they set it up was, from face value, she was the meek, quiet, humble artist. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Who just happens to win in the end.
Right.
But the truth of the matter was, and if you really, and you know what, it's crazy because as much as we've seen the movie, or at least as much as I've seen the movie, it should have been put together anyway. She was the one that told Eddie Murphy in the movie that she liked him, like from the jump. from the jump.
She laid it on the line from the beginning. Yeah,
from the beginning, even at the little party after like when she first came up on the scene in the movie,
right?
At the little Stranze introduction or whatever.
Yeah,
she was like trying to get at him right then and there. She was trying to get at him, but he was too focused on her. So she was like, "Oh, okay, I see how it is." She's trying to get at him.
To the homie.
But she was like, "Oh, he trying to get with her. That's cool because I know how Jacqueline worked.
Yeah,
I know how Jacqueline worked. I know how Robin Givens worked.
Yeah,
but I see that he's trying to get at her, but I know about his reputation too.
Let him have his little fun. So and when he get his heart broke, I'll be able to pick up the pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the crazy part was, it wasn't like she was being a puppet master. She wasn't pulling no strings. She just let the scenario play out the way it needed to play out because she saw it. She saw it ever since the beginning. And I was like, when they said that, I was like, damn, they was on some
and
shit.
You know what, bro? Why her and Eddie was dressed alike at the dinner? They both had like the little silk units on and whatnot. They was the only two dressed like that.
At the Thanksgiving dinner?
At the dinner with Gerard and them with Pops and shit.
Yeah, that was the Thanksgiving. Yeah.
They were the only two who had like the little silk joints on and whatnot. Like they was dressed alike.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that next time I watch it.
She knew what she was doing. She was like, I'm gonna match this nigga.
Right?
She had to coordinate with that nigga.
I forgot what I was gonna say, but but people made it seem like Robin Givens was the biggest player in the movie. No, it was Halle Berry. Halle Berry was the biggest. She played the game and won. Like she was on the chessboard and she saw all the moves and she made them accordingly. The only time it didn't work in her favor was when the fact that after she had got Eddie Murphy, he went back to go try to fuck. Well, he did go fuck Jacqueline. Yeah, and he kept trying to go fuck with her, and she was like, "Dang, like I had this nigga, but like."
Hey, she slapped the dog shit out that nigga though.
Yeah. She did. But that was the only time she kind of fucked up. But like that wasn't really just on her either. Like it was just kind of like it just didn't work in her favor in that moment.
But she knew whenever that nigga when she answered the phone and this nigga was like, "Oh, she just stopped by," you know what I'm saying? She was like, "Stop by, nigga, I've been living over here."
That nigga, but that was completely dumb on his part. Like that wasn't smart at all. Like why the fuck would you say that shit? Like you talking to the chick you used to fuck with, you got the chick you fucking with who both know each other, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, she just stopped by for a second."
And he tripping anyway because Jacqueline, she didn't even have body like that, bro.
Nah. Well, and that's crazy because if you watch the okay, before I say this, because I'm nerding out for a second. I did watch the director's cut of the movie. So Reginald Hudlin does do commentation. But for people who don't know me, that's my favorite movie ever.
Yeah, I know.
Boomerang is like the best movie. There's nothing on top of it for me. So anyhow, Reginald Hudlin was talking about that. He was saying at the part where they introduced her with Robin Givens, they were saying like everybody knows that Halle Berry is like the beauty queen. She's the hottest girl at the moment. You know, she's coming up in the game. She's real beautiful. They said that they tried to do everything in their power to try to tone her down.
Tone her down, yeah.
So that she wouldn't outshine Robin Givens. Because
she turned into the artsy chick.
Yeah, because Robin Givens, remember at the time, I think she was just getting past her debacle with the whole Mike Tyson situation. So the role that role was perfect for her because it kind of fit like her personality or that image of her at the time. So they knew that she was gonna body that role. And she did. I gotta give it to her. She bodied that role.
She wasn't that fine like talking about when she pulled up to his crib and opened the road. I was like,
oh. That was like Lala in Power.
Disappointing.
I'm not gonna lie. Everybody wanted to see it, right? Like all the guys is like,
it's because she went and had surgeries. If she would have just been natural, I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, let's say all the guys wanted to see it. It's Lala. Come on. She ain't, she had the good girl image before she did all that. So when that happened, everybody was like, all right. Oh. But I also kind of had the same moment when I saw Halle Berry in Swordfish. Like,
I told you I never even knew what that movie was about. I went up there because I wanted to go see something else, and it was sold out. So I was like, "Well, I'm here," and I noticed there was a lot of dudes up in the movie theater. And I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And within the first 10 minutes, and she put like she was out there at the pool, and she did that. Everybody started clapping, and then they started walking out. They were like, "All right, that's what we came for."
It wasn't pretty to me. Like, it just didn't work for me. But yeah. Whatever. That's not to take anything away from her. Van Hunt smashing her these days, so whatever.
Yeah.
But nah, man, good movie. I think that was a good observation of it. To say that she was the real player, the real winner of the game, and man, I can't be mad at it.
I ain't mad at it at all, man.
So I guess, man. All right. So what, we had a solid hour?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, I think we can go ahead and call it a wrap tonight.
Yeah, because I gotta get my black ass up and do this work thing again all over.
You do have to go to work, yeah.
What's going on with that? Who came up with this shit, man? Getting up and going to work every day. Who
the 9 to 5
to do that? Yeah.
Don't get me started because that's a whole rant.
I'm just saying. I don't even work a 9 to 5. I work some dumbass hours. I get up in the morning and I'm leaving and I'm passing through the neighborhood. Everybody tucked in their beds, their cars and shit still there. This and that. I'm the only nigga on the road. Then when I get off, everybody who got up later and went to work are back at home relaxing and shit. I'm just getting off. It's like, what kind of shit is this?
Look, at least you know where your paycheck coming from.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I'll
be out here. I'll be out here
like that.
I'll be out here like sometimes I just be like, shit, man, where this bread coming from?
I want to wake up one day and just not be responsible. You know what I'm saying? It seems like them niggas living their best life. Motherfuckers who ain't really got a game plan. They just get up and do whatever. They seem to be happy as shit.
Ain't it crazy how it work out that way?
Yeah, they don't have no complaints. They just be out here, don't do nothing, and they just happy. They wake up whenever they want to. Some niggas, they don't get up till like 12 o'clock. I'm like, what?
No.
Even on the weekends, I can't sleep in that late.
Fuck that. I say, if I'm not out shooting, I'm at home editing. If I don't have that going on, then I'm out trying to find business. If I can't get a hold of no business, then I'm out practicing doing shoots. I'm learning how to do something new with photography. And if all else fails, there's absolutely just nothing to do at all, I will clean up this goddamn house.
Yeah.
I cannot not be productive. Cannot not be productive.
Jesus. But these people, man, the ones who ain't really being productive like that, they happy as hell. For some reason, they always got weed. You know what I'm saying? They always got weed. Don't know how they get it, but they getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it must be nice, man. So I'm gonna try it out one, like for a day or two. Just be like, I ain't doing shit. I ain't going to work. I'm just gonna figure that. But then I know when I wake up in the morning and I'm be like, get my ass up and go to work.
You got too much. You have too much work ethic in you to do that. Let's say, because I know, like I said, I know with me, like it gets to a point sometimes with me, if it's at a point where it's just literally nothing to do, I will start to fall into deep depression, and I'll be like, I can't do that. I gotta go do something.
Yeah,
gotta go do something. So, screw all that. Go network. Go. I mean, even if it's just like hanging out, like go hang out with some, go do something. Just don't sit there all day. So I can't do it, but hey, it is what it is. So, but anyhow, I know you got to get ready to go to bed, so you got to get ready for the JO.
Yeah, do another 12-hour shift.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, with that being said, we definitely do appreciate everybody for stopping by and checking out.
Hey, man, we sorry about this shit, man. We coming back.
I know, y'all, man. Hey, look, man, just be patient with us. We trying.
Yeah,
man.
We're out here living, man. We got shit.
We out here living, man. We got lives and things going on, and now other things going on. So, just bear with us. We will do our best to try to do this on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Just bear with us.
They're gonna be odd days and whatnot, but hey, we'll be there.
Yeah. We'll be there. So just rock out with us.
Yeah, man.
But with that being said, I definitely want to go ahead.
Antonio, man. The show appreciates you hanging out with us, bro.
Yes, thank you, Antonio. Thank you, and Crystal. Thank you as well. You know,
And
Crystal definitely has been
always,
one of
shout
my
out to
biggest
Big
supporters.
Crystal.
She definitely shows up when it's time to show up, and definitely gives the support. And I'm surprised she ain't chopped our heads off yet for for not being
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we'll get that talking too soon. But
Yeah.
we're trying to stay with it. But with that being said, if you have watched the show and you enjoyed the content, be sure to, if you're watching this on Facebook or anywhere else, try to go migrate over to that YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Go check out Super Hadnot Bros on YouTube, where
Yeah.
we really want to try to push everything that way. So if you enjoy the conversation, make sure that you like it, make sure that you share it, make sure that you comment, jump in on it, because we want to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to just be us. Like, we want to know what y'all got to say on these conversations so we can keep these conversations going, because that's what the show is about. It's not about talking about finances and politics. Like, we can talk about whatever. So we want to talk to y'all. So y'all make sure that y'all hop in on these conversations. So again, if you like what you see, like, share, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button, man. It don't take but 2 seconds.
It's free as
and
hell.
That's it. Like I said, it may not mean a lot to y'all, but it means a fuck ton to us.
Yeah, man.
So definitely do that, so we can kind of keep bringing this content to you and keep these conversations going, and just kind of just see where it goes from here. Let's have fun with this shit, man. But with that being said, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Antonio, Crystal. Shout out to the fam, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all the love when we was going through our situation and whatnot. Everybody was calling, checking in, so we all good on that. Big shout out to Sean. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down. Getting ready for her birthday soon, so got some shit planned.
Okay, real quick before we go, I see Antonio posted something. He said he wants to know thoughts on one-legged people wearing New Balance. So you may have to elaborate on that one, man. You might have to elaborate on that one, man. I don't know how to feel about that question.
I mean, I know we was gonna get canceled at some point, but I don't want it to be this soon.
Right. Now I know you're doing it in jest, man. It's all good. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to KMA Taekwondo. We just had a really good shoot. We had a really successful shoot with them. That's KMA Taekwondo School. We partnered up with them and we got some stuff done, and we did good off of that. Also, shout out to Joel at In Other Words Sports Magazine. We just did a photo shoot with professional boxer Michael Angelini. He actually just won his last fight, so shout out to them. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that. Who else? Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, shout out to C. Allen. Shoot your shot. That's coming soon.
Shoot your goddamn shot.
We'll be working a lot of schools in the A-Leaf school district. Again, talking about showing these kids how to use their phone to become the smartest person in the room, the most powerful person in the room, content creation and all that good stuff. So shout out to them. Be looking forward to that. And also, if you are in the Houston area, before I go, this Sunday, there will be a Shoot Your Shot event going on the 21st. Give me 1 second and I can give you the details. I'm glad I thought about that. Crap. Where's the okay, so it's going to be happening. It's a Shoot Your Shot mixer that's going to be happening on Sunday, and it's going to take place from 7 to 9. God dang it! I don't have the doggone address where it's going to be at. Well, okay. It's gonna be at the Future Stars of Houston, which is located at 707 North Shepherd Drive in Houston. So if you are in Houston, y'all make sure that y'all go check out the Shoot Your Shot. Just follow Shoot Your Shot on Instagram, Facebook, and all that, and you can find all the information there. And I can actually go ahead. I'll share the flyer on the Super Hadnot Bros page as well. But
share that shit.
Y'all make sure that y'all check it out, man. Again, it's gonna be this Sunday at the Future Stars of Houston. It's gonna be from 7 to 9. It's a good way to not only learn how to create content, but you're gonna rub shoulders with like some of the best photographers in the city. And if you want to learn
that dude right there
about photography,
dude right there,
yeah, I'll be one of them. But if you want to learn anything about photography or learn anything about content creation, anything like that, man, y'all make sure that y'all show up. I'm pretty sure Chris would appreciate it. We would appreciate it. We would love to talk with y'all and mingle, network, chop it up, whatever, have a drink, whatever. So y'all make sure y'all show up, man.
Yeah, I'll probably be
so. No, anybody else, like I say, if you're in here. But with that being said, man, I think that we are good to go, and we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. So with that being said, we will catch you then, and until next time, peace. All right.